Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Brothers and sisters, students, as usual, today we are going to continue the chapter 4 of symbol and multi-tier web architecture. What is a system architecture? At the beginning, it's the arrangement of the software mechanism and a task how the information system need to be architecture as a specific functionality. Two-tier. We have two-tier and multi-tier. Two-tier is just a web server or web application that is holding the website and the database server connecting together. This is called a two-tier, which is a database server and a web server. Client are connecting to the web server and web server will connect to the database. Multi-tier application, web application server, and back-end legacy, that is a database. But as you've seen here, this is a two-tier. A client is connecting to the web server, and web server is connecting to the software management or database management, which is database content. This is just a two-tier architecture. And multi-tier architecture, as you've seen, web server layer is just shown the servers, and the client connect to the server, to the middleware. Middleware is just containing all the e-commerce services, application servers, database servers, add-on or add servers, mail servers, and so on. The back-end layer or third layer is just a cooperated application like a finance, production, MBR, and ER system, HR systems, which is just inside the organization, which will not be published to the others. This is called the back-end layers, which is internally architectures. Web server software, as you see, actually we spoke about the hardware in the last class. Today we are going to speak about the software server. Software server, we have the common or the common two. As we said before, that is two types of architecture, or two types of web servers are running. The most common used is Apache, which is the leading web server software, mostly 52% of market. Works with Linux, Unix operating system, and also it's work with Windows. Microsoft Internet Information Server, IIS, it's commonly for Windows systems. Also, Apache is running on Windows also. But MIS or IIS is not working on Linux. But Apache can run on, there's a version especially for Windows servers. And it's cost mostly 20% of market. If you've seen here some functionality, which is of the server first function, which is converting a hardware or a software or a web page to the HTML and send it via HTTP protocol. This is the first reason or first function or first purpose of actually the web server. Web server, when a client just requests the server will respond to the client in HTTP or HTTPS or FTP or whatever any protocol that you are going to use, like secure service, which is SSL or TLS. All these are just a secured level of file transfer protocol, also FTP, search engine, data capture, email, and site management tools also are a function or the main function of web server. As we said, this is the software. The hardware, as we know at the beginning, it is just a normal computer, a big computer, which can serve more than one or more than 10 people at the same time. And it's based on the capability, RAM size, and processing size. That is, different servers are there. Site management tools, it is a basic tools, include all the web servers. Verifying the link on the page are still valid. This is just a web server, which is actually the tools which is built in on the web server. Identify orphan file, if there's any file which is direct file, direct link to file, to download that file, or like PDF file or any other file, music file or anything, we can just immediately download it. That is called if orphaned files. Third-party software, we have it for advanced management, monitor customer purchasing, marketing, or comparing of effective, and so on. Web trend analyzed in Google Analyze, all are this just a tool which is a third party which helps the owner of the website or the owner of the representative of e-commerce to know some, let me say, analyzing. They will provide analyzing tools to define, for example, let me say that if we have some users are entering from a certain country, so I will know that my site is usually visited by someone is from somewhere. Another one is also sometime by the search term or searching engine terms, which is the common term that is used for my site. This is the most common third parties. Dynamic web page generation. Okay, what is dynamic web page? From in previous classes, we already know that static web page and dynamic web page, and we said a dynamic web page, that page is just containing only the structure of page, but the content, the information that contain in page, it's just come from a database. Like, just assume that we have our college portal. In our college portal, if you've seen that we have a login page. How many students do we have? Many students, is it? So can we create for each student his specific username, I mean his specific web page for login? No. So we will create only one page for a login, and we store a student information in a database. Then when a student is entering his details, username and his password, the system will check from the database, or the web page will contact a database server and get the information. If the information is true, then it will redirect him to the correct page. Otherwise, it will give him some information. So this page, if you are, as a student, you are entering that page, and student B is entering the same page, third student are entering the same page, so that is called a dynamic page. Dynamic page, the content is hierarchical, or I mean the structure of the page are same, but content is different. Now when you log in, after login, Ahmed or Muhammad or Salim, if you see Ahmed, his details will come to the page. At same time, Salim will get his own details. From where that details came? Did we create a web page specifically for that person? No, of course not. But also, these details are coming from a database. So this is a dynamic web page. A common tools, this is which is a common tools, CGI, ASB, JSB, ODBC, PHP, a lot of things. What is the advantage of this? Actually, what is the advantage? First, lower menu cost. If you just imagine, if we have 1,000 students here in our college, and then we said we will create 1,000 page for each student a page. So what we will get? Thousands of page, many resources, many developers we required, and many things. But one page, one database, one resource, and that's it. So this is the cost. Permits easily online marketing segmentation. That means also when we push our data on internet as e-marketing or as a website for marketing. So of course, again, we will permit everything just in one click publish. Enable cost-free price discriminations. just because of we are allowing some publication or something that is immediately to our site. Enabling content management system, CMS. So also this is some advantage of dynamic web pages. Application server. We already discussed what is application server. Provide a specific business function required for the website, typically of a middleware. Isolated business application from the web server and database server. So if a database server can be connected, who will connect the database server? Is it okay if we allow the user or if we allow the customer to connect our database? Of course not. So a system only he will connect our database via our web page or our website. That's it. A single function application replaced by integrated software tool that combine all functions need for the e-commerce site. Merchant server software. What is a merchant server? As we said in the beginning or the previous slides and previous chapter. Do you remember that? A merchant, tujjar. So merchants is just a software that is, if I want to provide something to the user, to you as a normal user or as a normal customer, you are my audience, you are my target. So what kind of software that we are going to present for you? What kind of a website I have to present? What is the most things I have to include in my website? First, online catalog. That means a list of products available on my website. I have to show to you. And searching engine. I have to provide you a searching engine if you are looking for a wallet. So you have to just search for a wallet and you will get all the wallets that I have in my website. I will sell it to you. And also, is it okay if I, for example, now Muhammad, he came to my website and he select a first wallet and then he just decide to see he went another one. So I will ask him, okay, Muhammad, do one thing, pay for this first and go for the second one. Is that a solution? Of course not. So what is the solution is? Solution is something called shopping cart. I think all of you, they know what is a shopping cart. Shopping carts mean like just when you are going to Lulu or any hypermarket, taking a trolley in front of you and put things inside that trolley. So a shopping cart exactly like a trolley, like a basket. You are just putting things inside that. And at the end, when you finish your shopping, you are going to the cashier and start counting and paying. Shopping cart allows shopper to sit aside, review, edit selection, and then make purchases. That's it. It's just like a physical basket. But this is a virtual one, which is available for you in our website. A credit card processing. Typically, of course, if you want to purchase from me, you have to give me money. You have to pay for me. So how you are going to pay? You are sitting in your home. How you are going to pay me? That is a credit card. You are going to use your credit card. So I have to provide you a way how to actually represent your card, how to pay me, how your money is transferred from your bank account to my bank account. So that is called actually a payment gateway. A payment gateway. A payment gateway is connected with in my website, with my bank, and your bank. So they will take that process and typically work in conjunction with a shopping cart. What you purchase in your shopping cart, of course, that much of amount I have to purchase or you have to pay for. Verifying card and push through a credit to the company account. Checkout. Merchant software package. There's a lot of packages actually for merchant, which is integrated environments that include most of the function need. Key factor of selecting a package, if you are decide to go for that package, what is the main function that you miss, or main factors, or the key factors when you are select, yes, this package is suitable for me, or this package is not. First of it, the functionality. Is that site function enough and good for my work? Yes or no? I have to answer this question. Is that providing me all that I need? Yes or no? Also, is it supporting a different business model? Is that package, if I am in which model, business to business, or business to consumer, or consumer to consumer, what kind of business model I am running? Is that supporting me? Today I am just business to, let me say, just consumer to consumer. Tomorrow I want to increase my business to become business to consumer. So if business to consumer, is this production or is this package supporting that? Yes or no? So I have to answer this question. So if it is yes, so that is a good for me. If it is not, so in future, if I decide to change my business or increase my business, again I have to rebuild my package. So this is again another factor to select. Visual site management and report. So what we mean by visual site management and report? So every site or every website need to fill the data, need to feed a data to that site. If no data is there, so how the customer will find my package, or how customer will find my goods that I am presenting or I am selling? So how that site is working on, how that site is reporting, and that's kind of report is provide for me if there's stock available or no, and how many, where. So is that enough for me? That report, is this system or this package is representing that report? Yes or no? Again, I have to answer this question. Performance and scalability. A performance, that's mean, is this capable to serve multi users or multi client at a time? That's called multi-threading. Is it fast enough? Or if I 10 customer or 20 customer log into my system, is it stacked or no? So in testing purpose, that is, you are going also to answer this question. This is another factor. Connectivity with existing business system. Let's assume I want to upgrade my system. I have a system right now. I'm running in business for last 10 years, and now I want to increase my business. So is this package or is this software that I want to buy it right now, is it working with my previous one, or I have to build everything from scratch? I mean my data, not my design, because the package will come with it on design. But is it supporting my previous data? Can I travel or can I move my previous data to, or that's called integrate my previous software with the new software? Yes or no? Is it complements with the standards? Do you remember when we start global standards of e-commerce factors or functions? Is that compliance with a standard? A global and multicultural capability. Is it supporting multi-languages or not? If my business is online business, that means I may sell my goods in Oman, in China, but not all people are in China or in USA speaking English only or speaking Arabic only. Some of people, they don't know my language. So is that supporting multicultural, many languages or not? Local sale taxes and shopping rules. Is my system understand what we, for example, local sales? If we are in Oman, a geographical location, we are selling goods. We have to be apply the rules which is come from Ministry of Commerce of Oman, belong to that kind of business. So is that business, is that rules applies also in UAE or in Saudi Arabia? Of course not. They have their own rules. So is my system intelligent enough or supporting that kind of rules? If you are, for example, this good or this item you are buying, this bin, let's assume that this bin is not working or it's not allowed to ship to UAE. So in this case, your system should know and feedback the customer, this one will be blocked in custom في الجمارك مالهم. So it will be blocked there. So also you have to know if my merchant software is supporting that kind of things or not. So this is the key factors of selecting a package. When you are trying to select a package, so you should go to through these factors. It doesn't mean that you have to go through all of them, but you must go through all of these your business need or what's meet with your business. That's it. Web service and open source options. What we mean by open source, by the way? Open source, that's mean a software or applications which is free of cost. It's already developed by someone and it will put for open use. It's just free of cost. And with its own source code, that means you can develop it, you can increase it or customize it based on your requirement. And that is a good option for a small firm actually. للشركات الصغيرة فقط يكون مناسب. Why? To reduce the cost first. Second is because it is a hosted of e-commerce site offering, sometimes they are offer you a free open source with, they put a banner or they put advertisement with you for their, belong to their website. Over a site, building tools and templates. For example, Yahoo Merchant Solution. This is one of the hosted e-commerce site. It's hosted by Yahoo itself and provided for all of us. Open source merchant software, server software, enable you to build a truly custom site. Like if we say Moodle is one of the sites that is just customized. It's mean developed by someone else and we brought that, we change it semi-totally. Not in function, in design, in that, and we make it works for our own specific needs, our own requirements. So it's required, of course, it's required a programmer with expert, and also it's required a time. How? Because customizing things, it will take long time, and it's need an expert to do that. Who will do that? The developer or the programmer. The hardware platform. Let we now go to the hardware. In software, now we know what is a hardware. As I said in the beginning, it is just a server, a hardware server, which is touchable things, which can be underlying a computer equipment need for e-commerce functionality. Objective, enough platform capacity, that's mean big hard disk, big processor, to meet a big demand without wasting money. The important of understand the factors of the affect speed, capacity, and scalability of the site. You need to see what is the impact if my speed or my website processing speed is slow. What is the impact on that? If the capacity is not enough, what is the impact on that? Scalability, is that can be expanded or not? Right sizing of hardware platform, how can I decide? which platform or which software, which hardware, which hardware is enough for me. Is this hardware or this server, is it okay or not? How can I decide? First, based on customer demand. Most important factors exactly as a software package, we said many factors are there to be put in account to choose if that is the right one or not. Again, here we have the same thing. First, factor overall in demand, number of simultaneous users in peak period. What we mean by peak period actually? Peak period is just the period which the most numbers of people are entering. Like you students in registration time. Most of the students, they registered at the same time. That's called a peak. وقت الذروة. So, nature of customer requirement, user profile. Also, if a customer needs to sit in my website for a long time, and I expect thousands of users at the same time. So again, I have to type of content. Is it dynamically or static web page? If it is dynamically, of course, I need a lot of things. If it is a static, so there's no process internally or happen. Just once I publish a client requests the page, it will get a response and that's it. There's no communication between client and server with the many times, and client with a database server, server with the database server. No. So that is static. If a dynamic, no. And many things are happening. Is that security of your website? Number of items in inventory. Number of big requests. Speed of legacy application. All these are, you have to put it in mention. Scalability. Ability to sit or site to be increased or shrink of demand warrant. Today I serve only 1,000 students, 1,000 customers. But after a while I will serve maybe 10,000 customers at the same time, in the same period of serving only 1,000 customers. So is my site or my server able to serve 10,000? So that is a future plan of your business. So you have to put that in account also. Way to scale hardware, either vertical or horizontal. In vertical, increase a processing power of individual computers. That means you need to increase individual component of the processing. Horizontal, that means employ multiple computers to share work. So in horizontal, in the same server, I have to add more RAMs, more hard disk, or more processors in the same. That is, it's called vertically in the same server. But in horizontally, we will add more servers to serve our customers. Improve processing architectures. This is actually, as you've seen, a technique and the application. User faster computer, deploying edge servers, create cluster of computing. Cluster of computer, that means many computers will work at the same time. And they run a load balance in parallel way. That's it. Segment, workload, batch request, management connection, and arrangement user data. Cache also. What is a cache? Cache is just storing some frequency or some information to be provided to the user at the same time as a most requested data. In time of, for example, if I want to ask for a pen. Just that many people are asking for a pen, and every time I just connect database and get that information, connect database and get that information, we can cache that and put that ready. Once people are asking, just push it to them. When they ask it, just push it to them at the same time. So that is will reduce the time of processing and latency, of course. Architecture improve. Of course, where separate static connection and dynamic content. Static content and dynamic content, cache static content, cache database lookup tables. All these things we may improve it. Other e-commerce site tools, website design, basic business. It should reflect what we are doing. It should reflect that is a design, a consideration. But also, we shouldn't make it that complex of design, which make very long time to load. We have to be swift enough to deliver the things to the client. Tools of website optimization, search engine placement, of course, where you are going to place your search engine in the site. Meta tags, title, content. What is a meta tag? Meta tags, that is the tags or the terms or the words which we actually find the page through it. When Google search for a web page, actually it will search for these tags to find out the content. Identifying market niches, localization site, offer expertise, links, search engine advertisements, local e-commerce. All that things should be tools to be optimized for a website. And this is also e-commerce website feature that anyone customers or annual customers. And this is the 8 most important factors in successful e-commerce site design. First, function, information, easy to use, redundant navigation, ease of purchase, multi-browser functionality, that means can be supporting more than one browser, can be supporting Chrome, Edge, IE, and so on. Simple graph, that means it's lightweight. It doesn't mean simple graph, that means you have to put it in black and white. We mean it should be graphically designed well and legible text. For example, avoid background, which is not the, when you put, for example, just a black background, and on that black background you put a gray color font. How the user can read that? It will be difficult for them to read it. You have to put a background which is reflect what is in front of it. It shouldn't remove what in front of it. Tools for interactive and active content, CGI, that is Common Gateway Interface, ASP, Active Server Breaks. I already explained this. ASP.NET is a new feature, Java, which is JSP and JavaScript, ActiveX and VBScript, cold version, Web 2.0 design element, widget, and mashup. Personalization tools. In personalization, ability to treat people based on personal qualities and prior history with the site. Do you remember cookies? When we speak about cookies and how we are personalize things of a user based on cookies. When you search today, you are search for something, it's already there. That is a personalization. When you open our website, yeah, we know you are interested in watches. So we are going to show you clocks or watches. Customization, ability to change the product to the better fit of the need of customer. Cookies, the primary method of achieve personalization. This is, we already explained it before. The information policy set, a privacy policy. I already explained this for you in previous. What is a policy? Use policy and accessibility rules and term of condition. Use term and conditions. Do you remember that when we opened Google and I showed you the Google policy, privacy and accessibility policy? The same thing. That is, it should be available in your website also. For example, if a person buys things from you and after a while he decides to cancel his purchase, so what is the rule? What is what you are going to apply? If you said, okay, I will return your items, but I will detect 30% of overall. So in which paste you are applying that? I will say no. Said, okay, go to the policy and check accessibility or use policy. You will find out that if you cancel a demand or if you are cancel an order, 30% will be detected. Now it's okay. A privacy policy, from a user, you are taking his name, his address, his details, email, and etc. of information. So what you are going to use of this information? It is a private information. How you are going to save this information for the user? So this is, you have to be very clear how you are going to use this information and how this information will be saved or stored. A set of public statements declaring how the site will treat customer. Personal information that is gathering by site. Developing a mobile website and build a mobile application. In previous, I explained what is the difference between a website and mobile site. Do you remember? And we said mobile site is just nothing but what? But a website, we call it a responsive website. That means if you are opening that site in a mobile phone, it will show exactly as a mobile phone screen. It will change its design based on the size of screen. But mobile application is just, we have two types, either native or hybrid. Native application, that means the application which downloaded from the store or developed directly for a specific operating system. For example, Android or iOS, that is called native, which is immediately or directly contact with operating system, not via platform. A hybrid, which will use another platform to contact the resources. Planning and building mobile presence using a system analyzer and design, identify unique and specific objects. Same as you are building your website, you can build your mobile site. You can build your web application. You can build your native app in the same way, in the same process, in the same development life cycle. Do you remember that 5 life cycle? The same thing. Developing a mobile presence, design consideration. Of course, you are going to consider the tools, how the things will be displayed in a mobile. It's not only displayed on a screen. It should also fit in a mobile, and also it should, the user can be smoothly navigate. Of course, mobile website is a cheaper or least expense. Mobile app can be utilized with browser API. Native app, which is the most expensive, required more programming. This is everything, and wish you good luck. Thank you for your